Smooth Terrorist here. Been a long time since I made a video. I just can't get very enthusiastic about YouTube anymore. I was planning to make more videos than this, but in order to get engaged in the process, I have to watch videos on YouTube, which I find I can't really do anymore. Most of the people I used to watch on here are either gone now or they've gotten lame. Because it seems like mainstream TV has forced its way into the social media revolution, and the people that used to be in the social media revolution are now like working in mainstream TV, which, by the way, that reality TV thing I did is out, but I think most of you guys know that already. If you don't, go find it. It's WeTV. And before anybody thinks about leaving a comment asking me, like, am I really married? Was that really Ocean's mom? Do I worship Satan? Just roll a sheet of construction paper into a dunce cone and find a stool to sit on. It's not reality. It's actuality. Okay, but I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about the Wall Street occupation, which when I first heard about this, I had to roll my eyes, because it's like a bunch of 20-something Leninist, privileged white students moved out of mommy and daddy's house and felt the crunch of the economic crisis for the first time, and it's like, oh, I'm saddled with student loan debt, and the job market isn't what I thought it would be. Ooh, let's go occupy Wall Street. And it's as occupations go, it's not exactly like the German occupation of Paris, or the Soviet occupation of Prague. It's kind of a lesser occupation. It's a little occupation. It's an occupation that consists of playing hacky sack in the fenced-off free speech zone while the cops come in and pepper spray you for entertainment once in a while when they get bored, and we are the 99%. It's just stupid shit. It piqued my interest a little bit when I heard that the Tea Party was there, because I've been predicting for a long time that the hippies and the liberal hippies and the conservative Tea Party protesters would eventually find common ground with one another and realize, like, oh, hey, you don't have a job, I don't have a job, you're poor, I'm poor, maybe we should be on the same side. So when I heard they were both there and not, like, killing each other, I kind of got a little tingle, like, ooh. But, as movements go, this one is still in that burgeoning stage, gathering steam stage. But I don't want to talk about the occupation. I can't say that without laughing. The occupation itself. What I actually want to talk about is the media coverage, and the mainstream corporate media coverage of the police abuse at this Wall Street occupation, because it's weird. I was in Monograph's blog TV show, and he brought this to my attention. He talked about this MSNBC editorial that was really scathing about police abuse at the protests, and I'll put a link to it down there. And that blindsided me, because I haven't watched corporate media in a long time, because it's bullshit, so I don't know what they're doing or what they're up to. And I heard him say that, and I thought, no, it can't be as scathing as all that. They don't do that. But I watched it, and and that wasn't an isolated incident. I've seen an ABC News piece that criticized the police abuse, and it wasn't quite as scathing, but for that to be mentioned at all is just unheard of. Now, one thing Monograph said was, is the tide starting to turn? But the revolution really won't be televised, and the time-honored political adage, follow the money, always applies, and they don't call them corporate media for nothing. The corporate media is synonymous with Wall Street. They are Wall Street. And it's not that corporate media never covers police abuse, but when they cover police abuse, they'll cover like white cops shooting a black guy, something divisive to drive a wedge between the peasants, like sow the seeds of discord among us poor folk. That's the time when they cover police, not at a protest. At a protest, there is no police abuse. Terms like police riot are just outside of the mainstream media vocabulary. It's unheard of for them to do something like this, and the incident in question, the one they're focusing on the most, I saw the footage of it. 4 or 5 girls got pepper sprayed in the face by some lieutenant, and I contrasted that immediately to like the 99 Battle in Seattle WTO protests, where you would have like peaceful protesters sitting on the ground singing Kumbaya, and a pig comes up in full riot suit and rips the goggles off their face and like burns their eyeballs out with a fire extinguisher sized canister of pepper spray, or contrast it to like the 2008 Twin Cities RNC welcoming committee thing, where they raided people's homes ahead of time preemptively to stop the protest. And I remember seeing footage of like 8 cops dogpiling this elderly woman at the Twin Cities protests, and breaking the bone in her ankle so her foot twisted, turned the other way. But of course I saw that on alternative sources like Russia Today, The Real News, Democracy Now! You don't see stuff like that on the mainstream media, ever. At a protest, the cops can do no wrong. And if they ever cover police abuse of any kind at a protest, at least a protest on our soil. If it's Egypt or something, that's a different story. But if it's on American soil, if police abuse at a protest gets covered at all, there's a spin where the crowd got rowdy and the dirty hippies needed to be controlled, and the police are brave and dutiful protectors of the public interest. Nonsense. So I really can't imagine what's going on here, and I'm kind of wishing I could bend old Machiavelli's ear on this one, because it's making me really paranoid. I can't for the life of me figure out what the media is playing at by covering this piddly little pepper spraying at this protest like it's Kent State or some shit. And that's why I'm making this video. I want to get your thoughts. By my admittedly cynical metric, there ought to be about 5 people out of my audience of roughly 2,000 that have 3 brain cells to rub together, and I really want to get your take on this. What are they up to? What's the corporate media doing? Why are they talking about this at all? Why isn't it a blackout? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. So this has been The Smooth Terrorist. If you enjoyed this video and you don't want to see it disappear, then download it, re-upload it, mirror it, parody it, make it your own, because the folks at Google and Wall Street can't censor me unless you let them. Keep it smooth.